Hello guys, this is the Terraria Expert and Sam. Welcome back to another Oblivion video, everyone. Welcome back, it's Oblivion. Yes, welcome back. This is not a stream, it's just a video, just because for the last few days I've just done stream after stream, and just I don't know, downtime, if you know what I mean. It's been Monday today, so it's going to be a bit of a quiet day. Well, not really, because it's never a quiet day in my book, but welcome back. It is Oblivion. This video is only going to be about 44 minutes, just because I've kind of got to go to bed early tonight, or not really, but I'm at the airport tomorrow. That's all you need to know. I will be updating my, thingy post or whatever. So yeah, I'm here on my own in this video, in this Oblivion video, and yeah, we're going to Manchester Airport tomorrow, because in the afternoon, we're not doing a morning stream tomorrow, guys. We're doing afternoon only. There's a lot coming in. There's some pretty interesting things. There's a Turkish 787-9, which I've never seen before. It came in last Monday. There's a Qatar 787. So basically just 787 world. I know it's not great, but yeah. Qatar 787-8, Etihad 787-9 in no livery, or in livery, but you're not no special livery, like choose China or whatever, or choose Arabia. What else is there? High Fly A330 as well, coming in at 2 o'clock. What's going on there? And apparently it's going to be in special livery. Because, it's the, past the 29th, you're allowed to go out, spread your virus, do whatever you want. So basically, you can do, you can go out, not do whatever you want, but you can meet with about 6 people. Like today, I'm not joking, I got McDonald's right. McDonald's Monday, I know, I was sad. I've been working in the garden today with my dad, and I went to we tried to go to the tip, but didn't work. Just because it's 2 tips in my area, which are about 20 miles between each other. Didn't get anywhere near it because it's too busy. So we just thought, stuff this, we'll do it, I don't know, in May or something, because people have had time to garden, found rubbish in their garden, and I thought, right, okay, I've got all this free time, I'm going to go to the tip. And you've got a tip queue that's probably bigger than, I don't know, Disneyland's queue will ever be. You know what I mean? Just to go on one of the rides. Honestly, it's huge, and that's a day out for some people. Like 4 hours sitting in a tip, car park, not going anywhere. No, it sounds like from Boaster City to me. But anyway, pretty interesting. Heathrow's still on. We booked the seats as well. Alpha 5 is putting Manchester Facebook, if you want to know what's coming into Manchester in terms of rare action stuff that isn't labelled on Flight Radar, like the High Fly A330. Check out his Facebook. I always credit him. High Fly A330 coming in tomorrow, A330 Neo or 900, and like some special livery, I don't know, or it's showing on the ground as a special livery, but nobody knows yet. And also there's a Vueling A320 coming in, as well as, I don't know, just some other things. But tomorrow at Manchester, I'm not going to be, streaming or going on the camera. I'm not streaming on the camera. I'm not going to be getting stuff for the SL Aviation, so it's all going to be, good, panning and all that, good panning. Because, my last stream at Manchester, which was on Saturday, it wasn't great. Sunday, it wasn't great. Just because of audio, and my phone got a little bit, I don't know, just soaked, in the microphone on the iPhone just went all, I don't know, it sounded like I was underwater. I suppose it was in a way. It wasn't good. It wasn't a good stream. I mean, you saw what you wanted to see. You saw the, KLM 737, British Airways A321, the usual stuff, even Air France. Hopper's gone, which is a bit annoying because last night I actually ordered an Oman Air 787-8. Oman Air 787-9 from Phoenix, and a Hop E1. Is it the E175? The smaller regional. The E190 that KLM use, and then there's the E195 which TAP Air use. So you know what I mean. It's kind of the E195 is the newer version of the E190, but the E175 is like the shorter. It is like a short version of the E190. I'm just trying to learn my, my regional stuff, because, I'm gonna end up looking like an idiot one day, and I can't really say, I'm not in Canada. This isn't regional land. The Canadian regional jets and all that, which is what CRJ stands for, and ERJ stands for Embraer Regional Jet. You know, we don't really get regional jets at Minecraft at Manchester. You know, the most, you know, you do kind of get regional stuff like, you know, KLM E190 and I know things that schedule, but at our moment is like, you know, it's not a Lufthansa A321neo or a Lufthansa A320. You know, it's a Lufthansa CRJ 9000 or an E190 going in. You know what I mean? So in terms of regional jets, that's the capacity they've got. They're using, you know, regional jets. But you know, in terms of Heathrow, we're going to Heathrow, as you all know, on the 7th of April, which is a Wednesday. So a week on Wednesday. So in about a week's time, I'll be pissing myself. I've actually got I don't know how much this glass was. I've got my rosé in this glass. And the guy who lived in our house before we moved in, obviously, we rent a room upstairs. Dad, yes. Mum, hello. Yeah, you know what I mean. He left all these fancy glasses and all this glass shelf, quite literally a glass shelf or like a cupboard, like a cabinet with all these fancy glasses in. And apparently my nan said, I don't know if this is true, my nan sometimes says silly things, but each glass is probably worth about £20 because the quality, you can tell if it's a good glass if you can hear like if the rings like I don't know, almost like Forevermore, you know, like, can you hear that? Bing, did you hear that? So the quality of that glass is good. Bad or glass that isn't, you know, glasses. You have, you know, wine glass. Yeah, wine glass. Or even like a trifle bowl. You can tell if they're not that good quality because the ding, you know, if you put your nail to it and it goes ding, isn't as long. So you can always tell if a glass is better quality if a ding is longer, like ding. Yeah. It's great. So yeah, I'm drinking out of a very expensive glass. Just gotta be careful with it. I've got my Concord mug. I also have a bonsais back in my room as well. Because I've actually cleaned my room today. I did a bit yesterday and hoovered under my bed, but no, today I've cleaned my desk. I've hoovered. I've cleaned all my models. I don't know. I spent a good 2 hours cleaning my room and cleaning the garden. So I was probably bringing spiders and muck in with me and all sorts. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. But no, in terms of a British Airways flight, as you all know, we're going to Heathrow on the 7th of April this year. And yeah, if you know your, you know, A321neo, or you know, if you know seats, you know, Seat Guru, we've basically been not on Seat Guru, but we've used Seat Guru to kind of look at where the seats are. Sorry, this is an Oblivion video. I need to be concentrating, which is far from what I'm doing. Yeah, we've booked, or on the way out, it's F, you know, A, B, C, D, E, F. Oh no, A, B, C, D, E, F. So A, B, C is the left side of the plane, and D, E, F. A, B, C, D, E, F is the right side. We're on the way out to Heathrow, from Manchester. We're on F, is it F8? Row 8, line F. So if you can kind of picture where that is, that's kind of just kind of like on the engine, sitting on the engine, and just above in front of a wing, but kind of behind the engine, if you know what I mean. So that's a bit like last time, but we're on the other side because I'm kind of thinking, oh, you know, if we're going to use 23 right to take off, I want to kind of see the airport. And if they're using 23 right for takeoff, I will see Manchester Airport take off and also the sunlight and stuff like that. Because last time, when we were taxiing, we took off from 05 right, no, 05 left at Manchester. And when we were taxiing along whatever it is, Alpha 3 or whatever, yeah, and Alpha 4, you know, the rapid exit near the RVP, you know, that taxiway, whatever it's called. I think it's Alpha 4, Bravo 1. Yeah, with the intersect or not, Bravo 1. Yeah, literally, the sun was in our face, and if we're taking off from the other end of the runway, so 23 right, we're gonna have a sun in our face. So I kind of thought it would be a bugger if we're taking off on 05 left, because I basically shot myself in the foot there. But I can't predict what runway they'll be using in about 9 days' time, nor at Heathrow. But today at Heathrow they were using 27 left, which is pretty interesting, which is Myrtle. Yeah, I don't know. But no, that's why we're on the other side of the plane going out, because if they, which they probably are, because most of the time at Manchester, 80% of the time at the moment they're using 23 right, single runway operations, for takeoff and landing. This is why we're at the, Moss Nuke place, for the low landings. Yeah, we're gonna depart seeing, the airspace on our right, because we're sat on the right side of the plane, line F, A, B, C, D, E, F, 8. So F8, I think it's F, C, D, E, 8, E and F, 8, E and F, they're the seats we've booked on the way to Heathrow. So it's kind of there and back, that's how many times I've been to Heathrow. But yeah, on the way back, we're on the other side, so the left side like last time, but I think it's 18 A and B, is it? 18 A and B? So 18 is kind of, where the sharklet is? Yeah, we're basically horizontal to that. So if you can kind of picture where that is, so it's kind of the other side of the aeroplane. So because I kind of want to see the, I know the other side of, so to kind of give it that kind of, but as you all know, we're going on the A321 there to Heathrow and the A321 back. The A321 Neo, this is. And yeah, so pretty cool. We've booked the seats now. It's Euro travel. It's not, extra leg room, or we haven't got like the throne literally in the plane. It's basically just economy Euro travel, as we always call it, which is basically like last time. But on the way out, we're sat on the other side of the plane, so row F, and yeah, so pretty interesting. Not row F, line F, row 8. So pretty interesting. So yeah, should be pretty fun, because I think before 8 there's about, obviously 7 other seats which are accommodated for I don't know, business traveller or whatever, because there's businessmen that go use the the shuttle route, and yeah, so yeah, our flight code is BA13, I've forgotten now, BA1384, and on the way back it's BA1402. So if you want to track them in advance or get them down in a little book somewhere, you can do so if you want, because I know We Gaming tracked my flight when I went to Heathrow back in August, which is about 7 months ago. But as you all know, 4-hour stream, guys, 4-hour stream at Heathrow when we're there, so it's going to be a hell of a ride. I'm going to record the takeoff on my GoPro, so for the SL Aviation channel, but mainly 2 videos when they get there. Stream 4 hours and the takeoff. So when we're in Terminal 1, I'm probably not going to do anything. I'm probably just going to enjoy myself, if I can. So yeah, nothing, no video or anything, not like holiday videos, because it's Heathrow, isn't it? We're going there for business, and to literally get things on this channel. Yeah, it's going to be pretty cool for when we get back to Heathrow and start our amazing shows again. But yeah, honestly, we're just going there for a day and then coming back in the afternoon. 7 in the morning the flight is. 7 in the morning. And yeah, should be pretty rookie. 5 o'clock start, isn't it? You wake up, morning time, and then we're gotta leave, wherever we're streaming at about 1:30. So we're gonna be there at Heathrow at about 9. So that leaves us about 10, 11, 12, 13, 4 hours exactly to spot. And then, 2 o'clock we'll be at, T5 departures, which is an amazing place. It's all big and open and social distanced. And then, 5 o'clock, 5:30 is the takeoff. arrive back at Manchester at 4:30. So it's gonna be a tiring day, but we did it last time. We can do it again, and it should be pretty good, guys. I know a lot of you are looking forward, because it's just something to look forward to, isn't it? We're not doing it just so you guys have something to look forward to. We're doing it because it's fun, it's work, and also it's great just to fly again. Like, honestly, who would think of last year I've travelled, been on the plane about 4 times. I'm ahead of myself here, I know, but I've been on the plane about 4 times and haven't even left the country. Because we've been there, been there and back, and been there and back. So it's it's just great. Yeah, I mean, that we've been able to do this, and obviously with things being lifted, and because honestly we were going to go there in October, but we didn't because I don't know. Because of the holidays and also the way things were looking, around, October and Halloween and all that, it was kind of a bit, bit temperamental. Apparently the little girl next door has never experienced Halloween before, because the year before, when she was 3, she's too young. So, you know what I mean, it's kind of amazing. So I hope we get a good Halloween next time, or this year, or next year, I don't know, whenever. Because that's the thing, I said Halloween will be funny, because when you're doing trick-or-treating, you're already wearing a mask, but a different type of mask, you know what I mean? So it's kind of funny. But the whole situation we're in is getting a lot better, it's getting less dire, isn't it? Like dire straits and all that, and I don't know, desperations are starting to look like aspirations, and negatives are now turning into positives. And yeah, it's getting. I just think it's had enough oxygen, this thing, hasn't it? This bloody virus. It's had enough oxygen. It's stolen a lot of oxygen from people, and I don't think it deserves any more of our time. People are just sick of it as well. Like, it's probably the last 100 years. I bet there hasn't been a worse time to be alive, except from World War I, World War II, but. In terms of like being a teenager and stuff, yeah. I mean, I've found it alright because I've been going to the airport and I've kind of had to adapt myself around it, because that's what I do. I kind of adapt to new, changes, strange and all that, but I try to adapt to it. Just make the most of what I've got. But other people sometimes can't do that, or they are too young to realise, or too immature, so it's kind of like, you can't do anything else, just cry. It's sad, but we're on our way out now, so things are looking a little bit more positive. I mean, like for the foreseeable future, things are open. Things have opened up today, and bloody hell, you'd know it, because as I said before, on the way to McDonald's, we saw about 10 groups, and I mean groups of women jogging. 10 groups, a group of about 4 people, and they were all jogging. It was just like, bloody hell. And one looked like she, I don't know, had just been ran over. She was so thin, you know what I mean? And then one of them looked like Mr. Creosote, but a woman. So I don't know why they're bothering. I mean, all running and spreading their aerosol, that's what joggers do, and cyclists are selfish people, as I call them. What do I call them? I don't know. I haven't called them anything, but they are trouble, Always think they've got authority over everyone else, especially joggers as well. You move out the way, but they just continue. Well, they don't move out the way, do they? And they're the ones, if anything, it's easier for them to move out the way, because they've gathered momentum to move out the way. But no, I just give them a look like, you stupid prat, you know what I mean? Buy a treadmill. I know it's good to get out there, but if they're literally saying stay home, buy a treadmill and, spread all your aerosol there. Not in my bloody face. sometimes I've had to wear a mask when some of these joggers come past, because it's almost like I know, I've kind of indoctrinated the thought of what these wankers are like. Not all of them, but most of the joggers that have, I don't know, passed me when I've been going to the shop at school, you know what I mean, or at the airport when I've been at that Moss Nuke place. No, just morning, you know, nothing. So, get out, get out there, do whatever you want. But so you what, if people are catching it through them, don't lock down us, lock down them. Bloody stupid joggers. Or just buy all of them a treadmill. But they'll probably still go out. They'll probably just say, "Oh, I'm just running to my mum's to deliver the shopping," you know. An empty Asda bag. Oh god, I saw something sad before. It was I mean, it's below me. It's below me to even talk about, because it's so, I don't know, just so under my standards. It's below my standards. It's just stupid. It was it's so below my standards. I'm not even going to talk about it. Some stupid thing on TV. Aldi, the secrets of Aldi at Easter. So basically, yeah, it's as sad as it sounds. And it was this guy who basically is on TikTok, and he said he's in the supermarket looking at all the eggs, and he's going, "Right, guys," and he's got his mask below his nose, and he's rummaging through all the eggs, picking eggs up and then putting them down, saying, "Oh, this one would be good," and then he's like picking things up and then putting them down. I mean, if you've got any common sense, I mean, you would see the issue with that. This guy's obviously his mask below his nose. He's talking, "Right, guys." It's even worse than me. If you think my hobby's sad, well, look at this guy on TikTok, and goes to Aldi to literally pick up all the Easter eggs. Not even wash his hand. I think that one clip that he went in without a mask on. So, complete shit stain. Honestly, it's the only word I can say. And he went into Aldi and he's like picking up all these eggs and then putting them down. Normally, what they're saying at a moment, you pick something up, buy it, because you may have, the virus, and if you pick something up, your germs or the bacteria from the virus, COVID, will be on the surface that you've touched. So you should really take it home with you. And he's picking up these eggs, looking at them, breathing all over them. Oh yeah, got his mask below his chin now so he can do his commentary. Yeah, I think this egg would do for the kids during Easter half term. And he's spitting all over the, not literally, but it was aerosols going all over the packaging of the, I don't know, Malteser Easter egg. And he's put it back on the shelf. I mean, I'm surprised he even put it back on the shelf. Left it on the floor. Alright guys, now we're going into another Aldi, and he's like, "Oh god," it's like, "I'm like a child in a sweet shop." And someone's like, "Yeah, god, at least someone's answered for himself." Honestly, just so sad. I mean, this is what people do. I just thought, get a bloody job, mate. I don't know if you saw it on the TV, but honestly, like, I was just looking at it like, this requires no words. It's one of those things where it's just like, God, and I thought I was sad, streaming the aeroplanes. Look at this guy, he's in Aldi picking up Easter eggs, saying, "Right guys, we've got this egg here now." I mean, I know some people, you may be autistic or whatever, I don't know, but I don't know, it's just a bit like, I wouldn't wake up to do that. It would be, it's almost backwards. Going into a supermarket, and he stops to talk to the cameraman, and all these people are like trying to get their way around him because he's done one of those people in the supermarket where it's a small aisle. They've got a trolley, and they've literally put their trolley sideways, so blocking the aisle. I mean, that was annoying before, but now it's annoying more than ever because social distancing. And yeah, you've got to kind of squeeze past them because they've put their bloody trolley in the way of you, blocking off the aisle. And some people, tell you what, and then the saddest thing is they've got kids, and that's what their kids will be like, knobheads. So it's almost like you're gonna bring that stupidity across to other people, which you have to deal with in the future. As sick as the parents look, you kind of wish, oh God, will they drop dead? But the children are going to be just as bad as them, if not worse. And now, I know. Because at once I saw an old lady crossing the road and she was on her phone. And she hadn't looked both ways. She was just, my dad was just like, bloody hell. Stupid woman, effing and jeffing. And I just said, I know, and that's the bloody grandma. What are the grandkids like? But you know, some people are just stupid. I don't want to sound like I'm moaning, but you know, when you do go out your way to, you know, go out in public, you know, you should really act like a citizen of society, not like some bloody farm animal or, you know, some absolute backward mental wreck. You know, I've been grown up to have standards and manners and, you know, show people respect and win them out. But you know, some people, and the scary thing is adults as well. Adults, people who are older than me, you know a mortgage and, you know, got a salary, and they're behaving like children. It's shocking. I mean, not because of them, but because we've got kids as well, and the kids must think, well, this is how you behave. And to me, it's like, no, I knew how to behave better than that when I was about 2 years old. Yeah, I used to go shopping at 2. Well, I used to sit in the trolley and just fill me nappy, so with a big grin on my face. So yeah, a bit like some of the adults. Some of the adults do that. They sit in Asda and fill the nappy as the kids watch them. Should we do that too, Dad? Yeah, just shit on the floor. When you go into someone's house, when your friend invites you round to their house, when you pick up their toys, don't put them back. Shit all over their floor, and don't pick it up. You know what I mean? It's so. When you, I don't know, have a takeaway, leave your Mackie wrappers in your duvet. And I don't know, leave the stale chips down the side of the bed. When you're picking your nose, just wipe it on the radiator, so it, I don't know, goes all warm and it crusts. And I don't know, if you feel like a midnight snack, there you go. Go over to the radiator and pick one off. I don't know, don't brush your teeth in the morning. Only brush the ones you want to keep. The ones that pronounce your S's, so the ones at the front. And yeah, it's those sort of parents, isn't it? If you want a healthy life, just don't listen to any of it. Because, yeah, it's those sort of people, isn't it? And Richard once said to me in art, he said, you know, Sam, I don't know if you would know, but you know, there's some people who you invite round to their house and, you know, we just don't put things back. And I was like, yeah, I know some people like that in my own house. You know, they pick things up and they just don't put things back and then they get lost. You know what I mean? And when I have my mates, I'm not going to name anyone, but my friends in the past and have been in my room, we don't put things back, and I've had to spend about 10 minutes putting it back. You know what I mean? Whenever I go to someone's or in a classroom, and this is mainly why I've got my contract with my school in art, because I'm cleanliness and all that. I can barely clean my room. Anyway, yeah. You know, I always make sure to put something back, or if I've picked up, I don't know, or if I've borrowed something, I always make sure to lend it back. People who I've had round, not Matthew, just some people I've had round in my house in the past. They've picked things up and have not put them back, and I've had to put them back. You know, just people like that. Yeah, me and Richard despise. He's like, and he said this to me back in like 2019 in like July. He said, you know, Sam, I don't know if you'd know, but yeah, it's always good to put things back when you're being in someone else's home, or, you know. And I was like, yeah, I know what you mean. I've had so many experiences of selfish twats. And he was like, you what, Sam? And yeah, but that was great. Well, it's not great, but yeah, it's great having very, very relatable people by your side, and it's like, yeah, I know what you mean. Those sort of people wind me up too. Yeah, I mean, I think people find people like them, if you know what I mean. I don't mean people find people who like them. I mean, people find people who are like them. You know, people who are a bit scummy will hang around with people who are scummy like them. Like, people know their own people with their own standards, if you know what I'm saying. People know their demographic of people to hang around with. They know their standards, they know what they're capable of. So you find kids in school, you know, like the bullies. The bullies not going to be hanging around with the academics, are they? But the bullies will be hanging around with the other bullies. The pretty girls will be hanging around with the other pretty girls. Whereas let's say, more switched on girls, the girls who want to, use school to its full advantage and don't care more about education and looks, they'll hang around with the more academic girls and boys. Just me saying girls, probably makes things sound better at this sort of time. Like, oh yeah, you're including females, well done. You know, you're not in or I'll probably just get accused of being a pervert. It's kind of like that. Include females. Was it? Inclusive sexuality or whatever, or including both genders to the same rights and stuff like that. So I hold the door for a woman. Apparently that's now offensive now because it's too sexist, or it's it's a bit groomy or whatever, or you're forcing them to say thank you when they don't want to. I know, so you can't win in this world. I try to talk about men and women, but whenever I talk about women, I'll probably get accused for being a pervert or a sex offender by some politically correct people. You can't win against I'll tell you, I've had a few politically correct teachers, and when you've tried to meet their standards, I tell you, it goes the other way, hits you right back in the face like a frisbee. So I wouldn't even try with those sort of people. I mean, guys, I'll just be you, and if you say something that people don't like, well, try to explain it to them. And if you're in the wrong, well, obviously don't say it again, or you should know better to not say something. But you know, teachers and stuff like that, and being around politically correct people, mainly in school, I've tried to meet their expectation and what I should say. Like, once we were talking about Grenfell or something, you know, that fire in London, the Great Fire of London, with a thing burned down in 2017 at Grenfell because of the installation was very flammable. Big hotel in London. You all heard of it, Grenfell. Quite literally Grenfell. And yeah, I mean, horrendous, but I was kind of writing something about it, and I wanted to make it sound like it. I said, all the, what did I say? All the, I don't know, I mean, to be honest, I didn't really know what I was saying, but because I'd been accused for being racist in that class by her, I tried to include Muslims in it, and I said, a lot of Muslims live in Grenfell, and she read it, and she was like, Sam, how do you know if a lot of Muslims live in it? Are you trying to accuse Muslims for living in poverty? Buildings that, like flats. Like, Muslims only live in flats. You know, they do have good jobs, you know. And I was like, I was just trying to include them, because last time you said I didn't include them, or I didn't show them enough respect or whatever, because I said my nan hates cotton pickers or something, which is obviously wrong, but you know, I tried to include them in my write-up in a positive light, and she just said, no, ethnic minority people don't just live in flats, you know. Exactly. I take offence to that, actually. Don't you, miss? And the teacher was just like, you know, would just say yes and no to anyone just to, I don't know, for liking. one of these people who just, I don't know, they just, I don't know, nod their head. Even if they don't think it's right, they just nod their head to the teacher or say yes or no, just because, I don't know, the teacher feels like they have more support or whatever, or they have a liking to the teacher. I don't know, but so they can work with them more in the future. you know, this supply teacher, who was alright, but she just said, yeah, no, I agree, miss. And I was just like, oh, you're just saying that just so you can stick up for your colleague. And yeah, so I was basically done for including ethnic minorities to basically, I don't know, just basically, I don't know, withdraw my, it's like being in court. I must ask you to withdraw the previous statements. It's like politics, what we say in politics. I'm basically trying to withdraw my racism from the past term by coming up with including ethnic minorities, and she just said no, not all ethnic minorities live in flats, you know. She thought I was basically saying they're living in a slum. If I said they were living in a slum, I would have said they were living in a slum. But the thing is, I wasn't saying they were living in a slum. I just said they happened to live in Granville, which is pretty, well, ended up like a slum, didn't it? But she just got the completely wrong end of a stick, or maybe I did, but I threw a frisbee hoping for her to catch what I was, literally catch on what I was getting, but no, it came right back and hit me in the face. That's the only way I can describe, I don't know, trying to haggle with a politically correct person. You throw something at them, expect them to catch on what you're saying, like, oh yeah, I agree with you, thank you for being tolerant on the subject, or being in an appropriate manner of what I expect, or my PC opinions, my PCO. And yeah, you know, no, it doesn't work like that, because they always think they're right, and whatever you say, they're like, oh, actually, I don't agree. Actually, I was going to stand behind the plant. You know. So it's always, it's never worth trying to argue with just difficult people. It's like life lessons with old Father Time. Honestly, there's no point trying to argue with people like that. I mean, if it's a teacher, I mean, you just have to, but my experiences with, I mean, don't get me wrong, I've had some brilliant teachers in the past who have just agreed with what I'm saying and said, you know, Sam, I agree. I don't know what accent that was, but it may have been Mr. McLaughlin. Yeah, very good teacher for me. I mean, you probably wouldn't appreciate all I say about him on YouTube, but I don't know, I just look up to him and I think he's a fantastic teacher for me, because he kind of sees the bullshit and cuts through it, which not a lot of teachers don't do. And yeah, I kind of appreciate, not that attitude because it's easy on me, but just because his teaching method on the curriculum is effective, but also he cuts through the rubbish that the other teachers just dwell on. Sometimes it is about the teaching method. Sometimes it's the teacher. I mean, I've been in secondary school for about 7-8 years now. Sometimes it is the teacher. Sometimes it's the curriculum, the access to the curriculum for the independent students if they don't understand it, or whatever their learning difficulties or whatever. But also sometimes it's the way it's taught, the teacher and the way it's taught. But sometimes, unfortunately, the students' access to the understanding of a curriculum, basically like science or biology. That's what I've realised. If that's a little bit academic for you, well, let me explain. For example, if you get a bad teacher, sometimes things aren't a wash. I mean, I get on with some teachers, you know, like Richard, and he's not really a teacher, but you know, Richard. I mean, I know his surname quite literally, but I would never say it because Richard's enough. Yeah, good guy, Richard. I get on with him. I do. See eye to eye, and yeah, some people just get on. Some of them are crafty. Some teachers are quite crafty, but Richard's certainly crafty because he works in DC. Crafty. Crafty with your jokes, not, I don't know, bit of a spanner in the works in terms of. No, anyway. But no, you know, some teachers I get on with, some teachers I didn't, and I've moved on. Bit like that English teacher last year who said, oh, I've got about 3 children, I could still pass my English compared to all of yous. Well, really? You'd bloody hope so, being an English teacher. So why haven't we? That was my question. And yeah, but no, if you could teach it so well, and having 4 children, why did all of us fail? You know, I know she's off pregnant having another child, but it's still not. It's not a good. Don't tell me it's circumstances, but I don't know. She was teaching us for a good 4 months after that, and it just didn't go down well. And you know, got a new English teacher, September 2020. Did the, you know, bear in mind, off school for about 9 months. You know, pandemic. Before the pandemic, November 2019, I tried to resit my English exam, failed, but 2020 September, new English teacher, Miss Donaghy, I think her name was. November 2020, took the exam again, obviously with a bit more vocabulary skills, but also knowledge on how to not just read, you know, the text and all that, and, you know, having English, you know, the theory of English behind you, like, you know, spag and whatever, SQI and all that. I said squawk, SQI, and all that, but also the kind of reading the paper, understanding the exam paper, and, you know, reading back to front and doing the exam back to front, you know, most marks first, and then when you run out of time, do the marks that have about 4. I mean, every mark counts, but it's better if you get your 42 mark question when you've got most time, which is at the start of the exam. You know, you're fresh, you're in there, all these new ideas. You know, when you start to get about 2 hours into the exam towards the end, you're just brain dead. If you're doing a 42 mark question, you just, and I don't know why they set it like that, honestly I don't, because your brain is most fresh. But that's in the morning. Your brain is most fresh in the morning. Towards the end of the day, like I am now, I'm rat-arsed. I've seen my backside today, and I'm not in a fit state of even. I'm still hungover from last night. That's not really Christopher Hitchens, but yeah, I had a bit of a drink last night after my Terraria video. I had a bit of a headache, and I was up at 9 this morning doing another thing, so I'm not very healthy in the insides. But oh well. But no, it is just some teachers you get on with and some you don't. I had a good English teacher, November 2020, took the paper. I actually got the results in, I think, on the 10th of December, but I didn't get them until the 15th of January. Dad knocked on my door one morning, I was still in bed, like Neddy in the stable, and yeah, I don't know, I was like, oh, he said you passed it, and I was like, you got a 5+, which is a strong pass. 4 is a pass, I got a 5+, so nearly a 6, so, you know, that's good. And I just thought, well, that's not me, that's because of a bloody English teacher, because I knew she was a teacher who cut through the rubbish, whereas the one before, Miss Wheelbarrow, was as effective as a wheelbarrow. No, wheelbarrows are very effective. She was effective as a leather barrow. Yeah. A leather sparrow. Yeah. A stuffed sparrow. Yeah. As effective as that. Bit cold as well. But anyway, no. But no, in terms of a curriculum, special educational needs, some kids will have talents in some things like art, music, DT, drama, dance, some forms of PE, fitness, mainly the meatheads, and you know, other parts of the curriculum, science, but some won't understand it as well as others, and they may drop because they may not understand it as well as the others because they may be, I don't know, not because they're despondent to it, but just because their educational needs gets in the way and they need special support to understand the curriculum on more of an entry level basis, which is what I needed. And you know, it was good, but I was in a base unit full of basically kids who had, you know, Down syndrome and, you know, all of my mates, and that's only because I had dyslexia. I mean, I was flying colours in some of the subjects, but that's just how they saw me in the curriculum, and things like maths and English, they put me in there for it, and I hated it in there, honestly. It smelled like a bloody poo house. But, you know, they can't help it, can they? And when my dad saw the place, he was like, why have you put salmon somewhere? Just because you got dyslexia. You know, how diminutive and how demeaning. Because, you know, they just stick me in there and they don't put me in the subjects where I shine at, using helping me to explore my full potential in life. Instead, they're sticking me in the student support centre, making me feel like some sort of mong. Sorry, but yeah, literally making me feel like that. Because apparently I've got dyslexia. Like, there's more to it than that, isn't there? But I suppose they helped a bit, but that was year 11 for me. Not a great experience, and I'd advise others if they're put into that sort of, I don't know, part of a curriculum or, I don't know, entry level. I would try to speak more about it and say, hey, can you give me a chance? Can you not just label me as a bloody kid with Down syndrome or whatever, or just, I don't know, ADHD? Can you see through that? Can you maybe see the subjects I might like? And then, yeah, you got to get maths and English. I mean, it's inevitable. Yeah, it's it's compulsory. You have to get it. But I don't know. I think the way of teaching it could be better in classes. They gave me a support teacher, what was it? It's not a teacher assistant. Not a tutor. Almost like a teacher assistant, but a supply teacher. That was it. Not a supply teacher. A teacher who basically sits next to a child who has maybe special educational needs, and basically explains it to them. It's almost like a foreign language. Explains the lesson to them a little bit better, but she's also there to maybe help out. Not a supply teacher, a support teacher, a student support teacher. Yeah, so basically vulnerable children who may need the lesson explained to them, or who don't understand it, may get distracted, need bit like, not like intensive care, but intensive intensive attention to what that child's doing and what they're understanding in the lesson. Now, I needed that in year 7 and year 8, and in year 9 I was a little bit more independent, and yeah, I needed it, and some of my friends did, not because we were on the spectrum, but instead because, you know, it was quite hard, you know, secondary school, primary school to secondary school, but also at the time did I know I had dyslexia? I don't know, but yeah, because of dyslexia I just couldn't fathom some lessons out and numbers, and I had to have a whole coloured, you know, sheet to, because you know, letters look like ants on plain lined paper. Yeah, that was a real issue for me, but now it's not. So whether it was my eyesight or dyslexia gets better, I don't know, or worse, I don't know. But yeah, I wouldn't put yourself down if you know, entry level or need a supply teacher, a student support teacher. Was it an SST? Yeah, supersonic transport. An SST, yeah, student support teacher. I wouldn't put yourself down for it. Instead, I would take the opportunity and use it to your full potential. And yeah, you never know. I don't know what the other kids are doing now in my year. I don't know. I would like to ask them, but I don't know them. Because at the end of my school life, or you know, full education as it was, you know, year 11, you know, it's basically cut off from the other years, or the other, what do we call it, peers of the years now, or whatever, or different sections of the years. They kind of section the year off, so there's like, for example, year 9, there's a part of year 9 that spends all their lessons together, they know their classmates, but then there's another section of year 9 that spends, it's basically like another side, so it's basically the same year, but they have their lessons, because normally it used to be, I don't know, year 10, science, I don't know, Monday first thing, I don't know, that was the whole of year 7, year 10, whatever, but now it's, I don't know, year 10, some half of year 10 on Monday morning. But then the other half of year 10 would be in maths. So it's kind of like they never have the same lessons with each other. They're cut off. I don't know why. Like, I don't know what we call it. Band A and Band B. Is that it now? I don't know. Band A and Band B. So basically different bands of a year. I'm into education, I am. I don't want to be a teacher, but I fully support it and stick by it, and through my experiences and, I wouldn't say trauma, but issues in the past with it, I definitely see where some people struggle, and I've been there, and I bloody hell, I wish I had a YouTuber to listen to about school when I was in year 7, because bloody hell I needed it. That's the same thing as well. Like, there's some vulnerable students that go up to me at break and want to sit down and watch the planes with me, like Fat Jake and all that. Vulnerable kids, Fat Jake. Nice, isn't he? Supportive. I'm not a role model, but kids come up to me and they may be possibly on the spectrum, but that doesn't get in the way of it. And they come up and talk to me about planes, and they say they struggle in lesson. I just said, try your best and all that. If I had a sixth former, like a mentor, I mean, I'm sure there were mentors back in, 2013 when I started in year 7, 2013 September this was. If I had someone to talk to me about, well, I don't know, when I was in year 7, September, 21st, I didn't like planes, I didn't know anything about planes. It was only until July 2014 or August 2014, boom, I was hooked. But if I had someone to talk to me when I was in year 7 about school, but also could see from the opposite side, and maybe even talk about planes, I'd be absolutely over the moon. I would have felt like school was somewhere where I could go where someone else like me was there to support me whenever I needed them, which is the whole point of a mentor. Also, I had the confidence to feel that this has all happened before to someone who is now my mentor, if you know what I mean. This is all just a gradual progression. Like, year 7's tough, we know, but this person has been through the exact same thing, and he's been through the other side. And honestly, I struggled in year 7. I don't know if you've heard the story, but at the start of year 7 I wasn't in for weeks because I was just traumatised. And yeah, you are. I'm sure everyone's first day in secondary school has been terrifying, and mine certainly was. It was okay, but it kind of built up and I bottled it up for weeks, and I just let it out one day, and it wasn't good. But it was until, special needs and all that came in and helped me, and you have a student support in the lesson, and he'll be escorted. He'll be escorted to form in the morning with a teacher. He won't go with the other kids, he'll go with a teacher to basically look after him, because I was scared. It was a new environment, and now look where I am. Oh god, that bonsai in the lava, just a silhouette of my bonsai. Yeah. Now helping out Richard and walking all over the school, doing my streams whenever I get a free period to, and helping out doing woodwork, carrying things across the corridor. It's all different chapters of your life. Also, it's just it's almost like a run. It's like a marathon. You go past things, and then you see them off, and then it's all a huge progression. And you look back on the timeline of when you were 7 years ago, and you think, wow, haven't I matured, and my confidence is. I know sometimes it goes the other way, like, I was confident, now I'm not, but I haven't really had any experiences with that. I have, but I would just say build yourself back up. But I know nowadays that's not enough. But yeah, and I'm just trying to think about what's worked for me, really. But in terms of school, I would have loved it if someone had been on a bench somewhere where I know where they were. If I don't have to knock on the sixth form common room and be intimidated by the sixth. I would have loved that. I would have loved like a mentor to talk to me. Get me over a bench and bugger me to death. Talk to me about the planes, and say, this has all happened before. you know. But, you know, it's kind of like, yeah, I don't know, it's just amazing that, I can now do that. So I'm just trying to be, not selfish, but, well, it's not being selfish, it's far from it. Selfless, yeah. And I'm just trying to think about what I would have loved and benefited back then in 2014, 2015, when I was kind of vulnerable. Very vulnerable, actually. I would have loved that instead of just a teacher saying, teachers just say, But when someone else is speaking to you at your own age, it's kind of like women. Women talk about women problems with other women. Men talk about, oh, no, they don't. We've all seen where that leads, haven't we? Yeah, masculinity and male masculinity. But no, in terms of, if I had a problem, I wouldn't always speak to a teacher. I'd speak to my dad about it because he was my pal. But in terms of speaking to a teacher about your problems, I don't know. It's not the same. First of all, it's not the same generation. Second of all, it's not really, a teacher's more likely to say, oh no, you shouldn't have been doing that then. When it's kind of like a sixth former or someone who's kind of older than you, but almost, still, I wouldn't say your generation, but, has been through it, but also, isn't a job to work for, hasn't really, more desirable to the younger student or whatever. They're more likely to listen to what we say because they're kind of their age or 7 years apart. It's kind of like a very similar bring up, isn't it? Yeah, I think 7 years apart is better than 33 years apart in terms of, an adult's been through life experience, whereas a sixth former's only been through what you've been through, but 7 years earlier, They're more likely to listen to the sixth former than the teacher, because that's just how it is. They admire the sixth formers and they more likely to listen to what they say. And having a mentor, I don't know, I wouldn't want to be someone's mentor, but I'm not saying that because I'm far too busy. But in terms of being on the bench and kids coming up to me and talking to me, I would have loved that. Honestly, I would have loved that in year 7 if I had someone to go up to and talk to, because it would have made me feel like someone was there like me, who's been through it all. Yeah, a great role model. Someone to look up to, but also take advice off. Instead of a teacher just saying, oh, you like this, do you? Oh, silly video games. Whereas I could probably say, yeah, I've played that. I know what it's like, so it's kind of, there's relatability, is that a word? More relatable on a consistent level than just a teacher saying, no, I don't know, just nodding their head and saying, yes, yeah, right, you can do your work. Shut up. So you know what I mean? It's more of a connection between, like a bond, like a, I don't know, whatever, a bro bond or whatever they say. So yeah, whether I'm talking rubbish here or not, I don't know, but I'm certainly doing all I can to kind of, be a good sixth former, helping out, talking to the younger years. Because the other younger years sometimes give me, bro fists or whatever they call them, or I call them the Wuhan handshake in your elbow. Get out my way. Some of them just show zero respect, and other ones just ignore. But no, some of them are nice people, and you come up and talk to me, and I said it before. It's all the other sixth formers just sit there in the common room, eat pot noodles and scratch their bum, and just at break act antisocial and kick the ball around when they should be really in the common room. I'm sitting there on the bench and talking to the other years, so it's good. I think it's a better build up, isn't it? Something to put on the CV as well, talking to younger kids. Oh no, maybe not, but I know, being engrossed in what the other younger years are doing, being a helping hand, allowing yourself to be engrossed in other people, not just yourself, which is what the other sixth formers do. I don't want to sound like I'm being complacent and like, oh, look at me, aren't I a great sixth former, but I'm just doing all I can. I'm trying to value every single sixth form day that comes to me and try to go back home feeling proud about something instead of oh, another rubbish day. You know what I mean? So it's, I don't know, if you are in school, yeah, I'd recommend aiming towards those sort of goals instead of counting down the days until the weekend. You know what I mean? But in terms of, you know, airport and all that, and going to school and all that, yeah, sometimes they mix up a little bit. But no, airport tomorrow. Later on in the day, I'll probably be going live at around 11. Staying until 12 or 4. 4? Thinking of analog clock to 2. But my dad's writing a book at the moment. He needs to do a lot of work, so me being at the airport for a long time, it gives him a lot of time to kind of plan out business stuff, and he's trying to write a child's book at him. I'm not kidding about our cat Benji, who died in June. He's thinking of writing like an Audible or whatever, or I just like little business things. Entrepreneur. I don't know. Want to be entrepreneur. Yeah. That's kind of cool, isn't it? I'm not allowed to know about it. We'll talk about it on YouTube. It's fine. I know. Pre-order the promotion. Yeah, yeah, no. I think I've done a good job in sixth form so far, and whether I'll be there again September helping out, as I said in Terraria last night, I don't know. Well, I'm really going to be focused on college now and doing the aviation course, because I want to work airside at Manchester. I know people look at you funny when you say that, like, aren't you going to get a proper job? No one said that, actually. But if you ever say that, I'll just say, well, define a proper job. Working at Sainsbury's, working at McDonald's, I'd rather. Well, I know it's all experience, but I don't know, I just think I'm above it. I do. I'd rather work airside or just have a. Because I think I would. I know it's good to work at. I know they say, oh, McDonald's is great for younger people. I know it's great for you. It's not good for younger people in terms of what they digest. It's absolute shit in the bag. I think the bag's more nutritional than the food. But yeah, you've heard that before. In terms of like apprenticeship and, you know, work experience, you know, the time management now apparently is really flexible. Whenever they need you, they call you in. That's what Richard was saying to me, and I said, yeah, I understand, but he said, no, it's good for you, mate. You know, it's good, it's all good for your CV, and you'll get promoted more. And he's, you know, really into making me do well. Richard, he's always on my side, making sure I do the right thing with my life, not screw it up and all that. And yeah, he's a great guy, Richard. He's absolutely the best person, you know, who could be guiding me through all this woodwork work, and also DT and, you know, electrics. Not electrics, more woodwork. He's not a carpenter, but he's more woodworks, DIY, maths. Reg Prescott, actually. Yeah, he chops off all his fingers and says, see, this is how you count to 10. You cut all your fingers off and count each one as you go. Plus you can't count with your finger because you haven't got one. So you have to count with your toes. Now, how many toes have you got? Toe add toe equals 4. Yeah, you get it. Toe add toe, 2. No. Yeah, anyway, I don't know. Yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, I don't know, like, working at, I'd rather, I wouldn't work at McDonald's. I think what I'd achieve more is working at my school once I'm in college or whatever. Because I know they say, oh, working at college and having a job at McDonald's is like the best thing you could be doing. But I want to kind of work at college and still be going to the airport, doing other media stuff, but also, I don't know, helping out in my school, because I think I would help more people, I'd achieve more, and I'd get more out of it, you know, helping, because I know the place, you know, it's not somewhere I have to start all over again. You know, plain spotting at McDonald's, you know, would it really become that? No way. It's plain spotting at school, that's what it is now. Sit on the bench, not while packing someone's Happy Meal. Oh, there's a 767. Yeah. This one, again, I had a massive argument the other day about, I don't know, people at the moment are saying, oh, the 767 is like the worst Boeing wide body. Yeah, maybe it is, but you can shut up because it's not. I mean, you can believe what you want to believe, but I don't think it is. I think it's a great plane. There's just something about it. I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it, but there's just something about the 767 that I absolutely love. Maybe it's the fact that it's quite retro, and I don't know, but you know, the landings are never smooth. I think it was DJ's Aviation, and he kind of put like a community post saying which is the worst Boeing wide body, and everyone put the 767, and yeah, I can see why, but they're the new bloody generation of plane spotters. They're all plastic, fantastic, dreamy liner. You know what I mean? You know, usernames like Dreamy Liner 787, 2010. So they're about 11 years old. You know what I mean? You know, that's the new generation. They don't know the 767. Instead, they only know the A350 and the 787. So, you know, 767 and 757 are just fantastic planes. Anyone who thinks the Dreamliner is better than the... Yeah, see, the thing is, people say the Dreamliner is better than the 767. But if you think about the reason why the Dreamliner is better than the 767 is because, first of all, it's newer, it's bigger, more capacity, goes further, more fuel economics, more economical, you know, greenhouse gases. It's cut by 75% or something, amazing. That's why, but I mean in terms of just being an aeroplane in general, yeah, the Dreamliner is better for nowadays, but I just mean in terms of the aeroplane itself, the looks of it. I'm more talking about how it feels to fly on. I've never flown on a Dreamliner, but in terms of looks and mystiques, I don't know, it's something about 767. I think the 767 is, to me, better than any variant of a Dreamliner. I like the 767 better than the 777. I like the 767 better than the 747. I know, I'm sorry, but there's just something about it. I love it. 767, 757, and 747 are all literally neck and neck with me in terms of planes I love. I mean, let's put it like that. 767, 75, and 74 are the planes that I saw most of in 2014, and they're the planes that have kind of guarded me in feeling secure in kind of like the aviation realm. You know, when I first started enjoying it and watching it in 2014. They're the planes that got me into it. 76, 75, and 74. Kind of guarded me in the aviation world. Well, the plane world, as I would have called it. But you know, I don't know. I like the 75. I like the 74, and I like the 76. All of them are pretty much neck and neck. But just for me, there's just something about the 767. I don't know if it's because I've flown on it, but I've flown the 75. But there's just something about the 767 for me which I just love. Something about it, I don't know why. I love it. But no, you know, 777 would probably be 5th place. No, DC-10, 4th place. 5th place maybe 777, 200. And 6th place maybe the VC-10 and the Tridents, and then the DC-8, and then the A330, and then the A350. I quite like some of the retro 707s, and the 737s, the classic 737s. And yeah, and I mean the ones of the Pratt & Whitney GT9, GT8D, is it GT8D? I don't know. But yeah, that's my list of my favourite planes. But there's just something about the 767. I know people will argue and say, bugger off, you know, idiot. Concorde's the best, 74's the best, and I can see why you like the 75, and the 777's a god, quite literally. But the 76, why do you like that? Oh, book it, you know what I mean? Some people think like that, but for me, I don't know, I just love it. So someone saying to me like, oh, my favourite plane is the 787, the A350, but my favourite plane of all would probably be the A319. You know what I mean? I'd be like, why? Because it descends really quickly. I'd be like, why is that? You know, well, I don't know, it's just something about the 76. It's probably because of that Thomas Cook flight in 2014, that's why. The hard landings. But I've only flown on 2 767s, but from what I've experienced, every single landing on the 767 has been bumpy, because the 767's like that, you see, it is. Because most videos on YouTube, 767 landing, crash bang, it's always hard. I don't know why. I think it's because the gear's tilted forward, I don't know why. I don't know. It's the way it gets itself on the ground, I don't know what it is, but something to do with the wing ergonomics. Aerodynamics and all that. I don't know, but something about it that caused the landings to be quite hard. But then you could say the 757 is very smooth in turbulence. It always gets down really smoothly and it takes off like a rocket. There's certain things about planes that I don't think the designers really know it will stand for, if you know what I mean. Like the 747, the Queen of the Skies, yeah, they knew that. But 747, you know, it kind of looms itself into the air, you know what I mean? It always drags itself. And it has like a certain way of kind of getting down on the ground and evening out. You know, they're all kind of mystiques to the airplane, which the designers probably didn't design it with the intention to, you know, 757. Did they really want the 757 to look long and skinny and, you know, descend rapidly but also fly really smoothly? Probably, but we didn't really stick it to, oh, that must be a priority. But now it's like a priority. You've got to go on the 757 if you want to take off like you're on a flipping rocket, you know what I mean? And I can say yes, they do take off like that. Because in 2014 it was, yeah, I could barely reach the tray table in front of me because the plane just almost, and if the only experience I can describe a 757, very smooth, very steady, smooth landing. It kind of turns quite sharply, but when you take off it feels really, not like rapid acceleration, but just, I know, insane, elastication down the runway. That's what it feels like you've been elasticated, loomed up into the air on like a roller coaster that's going far quicker than it should be. That's the only way I can describe it. Really, really fast. But the 767 kind of wobbles up there, you know. But the 767 is quite smooth. It doesn't take turbulence very well, to be honest, and the landings are hard. So some planes, honestly, I'm not kidding, when I've been on them, I thought, oh yeah, I recognise that sound, because it's in my holiday videos in 2014. It just must be a thing about the 767. And when I flew on the A320 last time with Neo in 2014, it felt kind of it felt smooth. It felt really smooth, but it kind of felt I know, it's just the way some of the planes fly. You can kind of feel the difference, and I kind of felt that same kind of feeling in the A320 Neo on the way, you know, with British Airways. With a Neo, it kind of feels quite I don't know. You feel like you're kind of getting pushed back in your seat when you're kind of levelled out and you're, you know, at a steady altitude of about 33,000 feet. You know, you still feel like you're getting pushed back in your seat, and it takes off quite viciously. It's quite a nippy thing with Neo, the A320. But I know when I was flying on the A319, it obviously felt different. It felt a little bit more, ooh, and it, you know. But it was very smooth and we descended rapidly, which in the A319 it can do. Descends rapidly, it is known for that. The 767 feels big, roomy, spacious. The wing's huge, but it flies a bit wobbly, bit tingly sometimes when it drops through turbulence, but that's just the way it is. I think some planes just generally have almost like its own atmosphere around it. You feel some planes feel a certain way when they fly. They do. I'm not kidding. I'm not saying that because I'm being stupid. I know some people say, oh, they all feel the same and they all look the same on the inside, but I don't know, someone like me, I do I'm aware of my surroundings, and I tell you, some planes I've flown on, they do feel different to others. Like the A320 obviously feels more, you kind of are more aware of your speed when you're taking off, and when you're on the 767 it kind of just slowly, gradually, it feels like being on a tractor. But yeah, it kind of slowly, gradually gains up speed, and then you're up and it's kind of a bit wobbly and up there, and then the wings are kind of shuddering and all that, and you're up at 33,000 feet and it just feels like you're on a plane. Yeah, a very big plane. But the 757, steady, smooth, take off, rapid, fast, elastication. Yeah, snappy, quick, landing smooth, and yeah. I think in 24, literally. Oh no, that's the A321neo. Yeah, vicious braking on that thing. Yeah, and yeah, amazing. In 2015, my phone went almost went under the the door between the cabin and the cockpit. Yeah, did actually get damaged, my phone. He broke quite hard, a Monarch A321 pilot in 2015 when we landed in Menorca, and my phone, that was, I think it was on the floor, God knows why it was on the floor, it just went flying forward because the brakes, you get forced forward when you brake in the car. You ever tried drinking the drink and someone accelerates and it goes, all that. So yeah, it's kind of it's one of those things. Well, in terms of what the A321 feels like, quick on takeoff, a bit wobbly sometimes. Landing's always been smooth though, and it always descends quite gradually, comes in quite gracefully, and yeah, it's good. Good plane to fly in the A321. Yeah, I always have a grin on my face when I see it. Like, yeah, you're the plane I've flown most on. I wish it wasn't, but you crafty little plane, you get everywhere, don't you? Even the airlines, I don't think have them. So Jet2 now have them. Yeah, easy to have loads. And yeah, it's just like, yeah, I think easy to have about 14 A321neos, and they had about 4 757s. I've actually been on an EasyJet 737. It was an EasyJet 737 500 back in, was it a 300? It had eyebrow windows, and that was back in 2004. I went on an EasyJet 737 retro. Oh no, not a retro, but it was one of the classic 737s. So I've actually been on a classic 737, but I wouldn't remember it. EasyJet there and then back. So it's 2 737 rides. I don't know what I went on to Hawaii. I honestly do not know. Maybe an A310. I don't know. That's what my dad thought I went on. But I can't remember that because I was 2 and all that. Monarch, or the A321, the A320. What else? Thomas Cook. I went on a lot of our A320s, A321s, 75, 175, 176. TUI, I've only flown TUI once. 176. No, sorry, let me just go back a bit, recapping myself. EasyJet, I've been on 2 737-300s of EasyJet and 1 A320neo. The lands are already 2019, so about 17 years later. Like 415. And I don't know if it was American Airlines to Hawaii. I honestly do not know. But we did go because there's pictures of me, and also got a little dolphin thing somewhere. I want to show you the pictures one day. I will. I have been to Hawaii because there's pictures, and mum and dad said I went there, but we don't know what plane I went on because I think my dad said maybe an A300 or an A310. He doesn't know, but he's going to try and dig out the photos one day to see. He did take pictures of the plane. It may have been American Airlines because we stopped off somewhere, or did it? I don't know. We must have stopped off somewhere in America. I think I had been to America, but very young. I don't know. Most people have been to America, if you think about it. So I've flown over American soil, definitely, but where we stopped, I've not a clue, because it must have to refuel. Yeah. British Airways, A320 Neo, and A319, and about in a week's time or 2 weeks' time, I would have said, oh, being an A321 Neo and the A320. I've made no progress in this video. Gotta go. Yeah, you're looking forward to Heathrow, that's another thing. I mean, tomorrow I'm going to be streaming at Manchester. High Fly A330 arrival. I just hope they're using the right runway. If they've kicked it to 27 left operate, 23 left. 05 left, I'm going to kick off. Yeah, Turkish 787. And yeah, it's going to be a great video tomorrow. I'm going to be there again on, I don't know. I really don't know. Wednesday is a sad day because it's a year since my granddad died. Thursday, I don't know what's happening on Thursday. Friday, I'm starting Doom Eternal. I don't know, maybe Friday the next time I'll go to the airport. And then Saturday or Sunday, Easter Sunday, maybe not. Monday and then Wednesday. I'll go to the airport another 2 times before Heathrow, so I'm just trying to bring as much content to you guys' screen as possible, so we're going to appreciate it. I mean, I did say I'd be doing videos daily during this kind of. I know that I didn't do a video on Saturday night, but that was because Survival Island is, it's only a little edit, it's nothing. But yeah, it's just I don't know, nothing flying, but just something with your moon aliens and doing videos and exporting things. I haven't finished it, so yeah. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. I might be uploading tomorrow, as well as streaming, a video on my SL Aviation channel of my Phoenix unboxings from late February, was it? Or yeah, late February. About a month ago. My 2B767 from Phoenix 1-400. My Jet Airways A330-300. And my High Fly A330-900. All from Phoenix. And I've also got maybe another video of my JC Wings models. My EasyJet A320, which I got last week. Thomas Cook A321 and my my Etihad 787 and the Chu China livery, which I got back in September. So the footage is going to be about 6 months apart. So yeah, be interesting. It's alright, same quality. Just different light levels. So yeah, Palima. More hairy hands. Yeah, I'm good. Is this sun doing this one? No. Just got a few more hairs in his hand. 6 months later. He's got hairy hands. Oh, they'll be like a bloody, I don't know. Crazy. Funny if I turned around and showed me a haircut. See, this is what my hair looked like back in September, and this is what it looks like now. Something of Highlander, you know what I mean? Now what is that thing? What is it? Oh, I've forgotten now. Is it cat weasel or something, or yeah, or like little spousey beard. You know, yeah. No, I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for just a stupid cartoon. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed Cat Weasel. Yeah, see you all later. Yeah, look it up. What I look like. I'm a big beard. Yeah, see you later. Bye.